I can't get my arm. Baby, I'm so sorry.
It was a normal day on the 3rd of April 2022 when the Miami police received a terrifying phone call.
I can't get my arm. I can't get my arm. Oh, my boyfriend is dying of a stabbing. Ma'am, what is the address? 130 Northeast 7th Ave. Baby, I'm so sorry.
A 27-year-old named Christian Toby Abumseli was laying in his girlfriend's arms with his chest brutally stabbed and blood seeping out. Once the police showed up, they discovered pools of blood scattered throughout the apartment, and Toby was barely holding on to life. OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny met Toby back in 2020.
My name is Courtney Taylor, and I am an influencer who does OnlyFans for a living.
You got like 1 million followers or something?
2 million.
Damn.
I only date black guys, especially black guys. Especially black guys. Let me clarify, I only date rich black guys.
Okay, rich black guys. There we go.
From the outside, their relationship seemed like a fairy tale, but behind closed doors, things were completely different. Toby and Courtney were not exactly the best at getting along. In fact, they had some pretty intense fights, and sometimes things even got physical.
Shut up and let me slap you, dumb.
You're not gonna slap me.
Give me my phone.
You have your phone.
You literally talked to her without telling me.
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said hi. You and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a You're a Yes, thank you. Call me thank you.
I want you to get away from me.
Baby, please. Just get in the car. Just please. I'm sorry for all you. You would never hear me doing that. Was not right for me to do that. Please, baby, don't yourself.
You will never protect me.
I will.
These fights were so bad that the police had to come to their apartment more than once to break things up. But their biggest argument would take place in April of 2022. During the fight, Toby ended up getting hurt pretty badly. He was bleeding out and begging for his life. When the police arrived, Courtney tried to convince them that she had nothing to do with Toby's injuries. However, the police thought differently. They had seen the history of violence between Toby and Courtney, and they believed that Courtney was involved in Toby's injuries. So she was brought in for questioning, and a 5-hour-long interrogation began.
My apologies for being absolutely covered in blood.
Listen, you don't have to apologize, okay? I completely understand. All right? Things happen, and you can't control it. Okay? How long have you guys been together?
About 2 years.
About 2
A
years?
year and a half to 2 years, yeah.
Okay.
Is he okay?
The detectives want to tell Courtney that Toby is in the hospital. But here's the thing. Detectives don't always know how people will react to news, especially when they're the suspect. So they decide that it's best to be gentle and not accuse Courtney of anything.
He's still at the hospital. They're still,
I know.
monitoring him and talking to him. So we're waiting.
Oh my God! So he didn't even have to have surgery.
Well, I don't know. They're still doing X-rays and stuff like that. So I don't know yet. I'm waiting to hear a response.
That's all I have to know. Thank
Okay.
God.
This helps the suspect feel more at ease, increasing the likelihood of them opening up and sharing information.
I had broken up with him, and then he came back the last 2 nights, and then started into an argument, and I ended up getting scared, and I think that I overreacted, or not overreacted necessarily, but reacted, and I just didn't know exactly what might happen.
Do you guys work here in Miami, or do you guys have your own business?
I do social media, so I'm an influencer, I guess is what
Oh yeah.
call it, yes, I'm an influencer.
What do you focus on, like Instagram or social media?
Instagram, LinkedIn,
And what is it that he does?
stocks and crypto.
Stocks and crypto.
He just has stocks and lots of crypto. We were gonna move into a house, so have an apartment, and then we were like, maybe just move here for a year. And then once we got here, we were like, no, this is dope.
Yeah.
So we have the dog picked out. It's a golden retriever. We're gonna name Mello. So we were gonna get the house so we could have a backyard. Because I have 2 dogs and then we're going to have 3. So we're planning on staying here for a while. Sorry.
Once again, you don't have to apologize.
The detectives could sense that Courtney was feeling all kinds of weak and fragile, but their main mission was to solve this crime. Courtney was in big trouble, however, because she was suspected of stabbing Toby. When the detectives asked her about it, all she said was that they had a big fight and things got really out of control. If Courtney did, in fact, do what she's being accused of, being forced to think about her past and future with Toby would really be messing with her emotions, causing her to become even more vulnerable. When people feel vulnerable, they tend to open up more easily. So if we're lucky, all these mixed up emotions might just make Courtney confess more easily and without much trouble.
Let's start from the start. You guys were supposed to take out your dogs to the park, right? And then what happened after that?
Like I said, a little bit before, I was doing laundry and tried to call my mom. She didn't answer the first time. And then he left. I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me he's going to bike first, please.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he came back with a Subway sandwich, and I said something about like, oh, are you gonna like reshare your location with me, like to share it? And he said, yeah, I shared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, like when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. And, like reshare it. And then he told, it kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something. And then he told me to reshare mine, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again, and I don't know what I was thinking, but it just said something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be? Which I wouldn't have been. I love him, but maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe it would just like hurt him because he was pressing me. And he ended up pinning me against the wall. I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like, they were looking at my neck and I was like, I'm not saying like choking you like, whatever. But he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. Yeah. I could not breathe. And I don't think that he was trying to kill me, but I was scared. And all 3 times I have been scared. I'm on the floor. And you have me pinned. Get my mom on the phone. So this happened like over by the door and somehow moved like over in the living room. He was standing by the couch, kissing for the kitchen. I was in the kitchen. And then he just like, I could see like all the whites in his eyes, and he was like coming at me. And so I grabbed one of these knives. My mom got me for Christmas. I grabbed one of them. And I was like, I swear to God. I swear to God, it was just like, I grab and be like, don't come anywhere closer to me. Because, earlier, that was happening 2 other times, I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. And it's very scary. And I just think, like, just like this kind of thing where I was saying, like, do you know if he's okay? If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might this is different, I think. But if he's like choking me or like pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab a knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom and he's coming at me like he's gonna grab either the phone or like the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. It's coming at me, and I threw it. And I meant for it to go.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge, and he was like by the edge of one of the chairs of the sofa. Like
comparing to what
10 feet. I'm trying to think in my head.
To recap, Courtney says that an argument started when the pair had both stopped sharing their phone locations, which resulted in him pushing her to the floor and pinning her down. In response, Courtney got scared and angry. She grabbed a kitchen knife and, without thinking clearly, threw it across the room, piercing him in the chest. Courtney was not a martial arts master or anything of the sort, but she claimed her attack was in self-defense. An act that involved her throwing a knife 10 feet across the room like a superhero throwing a boomerang.
Is she a professional thrower? How does someone throw a knife 10 to 20 feet away and that fatally a person?
The most surprising part, the knife landed perfectly in Toby's chest, causing him to bleed out and fear for his life. Again, apparently this was all self-defense.
So then, you were by the fridge and he was by the couch?
Yes, I was in front of the fridge. He was by the couch.
Yes, and then
behind my island.
And then what kind of movements did he make at the moment? He was going to walk
running
up?
At me.
Running? Okay.
Well, charging, aggressively walking, something.
What was he doing? Like, was he doing something with his hands or?
Doing it had his hands up. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Was he yelling at you at the time?
Yes.
Was that at the moment that he was charging you or earlier in one of the arguments?
It was before he choked me. Yes, it was before he choked me.
Okay.
Or whatever. But I swear to God, I was scared. I mean, after like what had just, I was scared, and I was on the phone with my mom, and it was still happening.
Yeah.
I was scared.
So you told me that he had you against the wall at one point, right? With his hands over your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up from the wall to the ground?
Let me go, and then I started swinging on him because I had been against the wall.
Okay.
I started trying to hit him.
Yeah.
And then he put me on the ground.
He dropped you to the ground.
When I'm trying to remember like a whole situation of where I was very upset about something, which I've learned this in therapy and whatever, it's like write down like all the details so you don't forget. Just like write it all out clearly so that it makes sense to you and makes sense to somebody else. But I haven't had a chance to have a pen and paper or my phone to like write down exactly what happened, and I haven't really even like fully thought about it. So honestly, my answer is I don't remember.
That's fine. Okay. You guys have a history of violence?
Yeah.
You say you've been together how long, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2
Year
years.
and a half to 2 years.
So how many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know, but we shouldn't be together.
Have you made a report before?
No.
You've never made a report?
Oh, I did in Dallas actually about a year ago, and he was detained.
And what happened there?
He had pushed me in the lobby, but it wasn't like a big deal, and they made it a huge deal.
Courtney and Toby had also been involved in a very loud argument in their Las Vegas apartment just 1 year earlier.
Decide whether or not you're done, Catherine.
I am mad that you told me to come.
Decide right now.
Courtney, that's a word. I asked you so many times that I don't know, and I apologize, but you hit me.
Shut the up.
When neighbors heard glasses smashing on the floors and walls, they got so concerned about the commotion that they were forced to call the police. When the police arrived at the apartment, it was a complete mess. And Courtney's story was very confusing.
What's going on today?
Things got blown out of proportion, like to the max.
Have you ever been cited or arrested before?
Yes.
For what?
DUI.
So, why am I here? What's going on?
My boyfriend and I just got into like a loud argument.
So you called once again for what? Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud. We were getting loud. And I was like, oh my God, we're gonna like do damage to the room or something. Not damage to each other. Like I really want to like.
But why would you think
that.
Why would you think that you were gonna do damage to the room?
I like throwing something or like.
Did you throw something?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No.
So why would you think that there is damage to the room to be made?
Because I've done that before in our house. And I.
What have you done?
Thrown a glass at him, plate.
Did you throw a glass or a plate at him today?
No.
Okay. So
this was before.
Okay. So when I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Okay, well.
Was there?
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
Okay.
I'm being I'm being completely honest with you. I feel like my brain is scrambled eggs right now.
Did anybody punch, hit, spit, throw anything at each other? Did he hit you or you did at him?
Well, I'm guessing that I threw a glass, but that sounds like me. So, oh, by the way, I just want to say, somebody mentioned earlier about there being a chair on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That was there. I don't know why we hadn't picked it up. That had nothing to do with a fight. We weren't throwing furniture at each other.
Courtney was taken into custody and held for 12 hours during that night. However, Toby at the time decided not to pursue legal action and advocated for Courtney's release. While this seems like nothing, the police did determine that Courtney had assaulted Toby that evening by throwing a glass at his head. At the very least, this proves Courtney's ability to assault Toby without any provocation, which introduces a completely fresh perspective for this investigation. However, it also turns out that the police had been in contact with the couple more recently than that. In fact, security had contacted them about an incident at their apartment just the day prior to this assault. The cops were called and managed to record the entire incident on their body cams, revealing a different side to the story than what Courtney gave.
Okay. Can you please let me into my apartment? Please?
Okay.
Yes.
Excuse me, hold on. What's going on?
Okay.
Where's your apartment? You have a key?
We have.
Ma'am, you don't need to talk to me.
What's going on? Lying about that.
Where's your key?
I'm in my apartment.
You didn't call.
I didn't. Nobody.
I called. You called.
What?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay, hold on, ma'am. Let him talk.
Okay.
Ma'am, hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The front desk personnel, this young lady, I was actually, with the other guy. She informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator with her, but she had her hands out like this.
Okay.
And she had her hands out like this, and she was like, "Oh no, don't come inside the elevator."
Okay.
So we asked her. I said, "Do you want him to leave the property?" She said no. She don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on.
No, but this.
Hold on. He's talking. Then you talk. Let him speak. Let him speak.
You get your turn. You get your turn.
Guys,
We were quiet when you were speaking. Why not?
I said, "Are you certain for sure? Do you want him to leave?" "Oh no." And then I just said, enough is enough. Police need to be called. She said she don't want police to be called.
Okay.
Okay, but you
Time
told me I was
out. Time out. Let me talk. Okay.
I feel very
What's your name? Courtney?
Yes.
Okay, Courtney.
Why do you have something against me, man? I'm just trying to are you gonna listen?
We're listening. Go
Did you
ahead.
say something wrong?
Yes.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need? What?
Yeah, good.
My boyfriend. He and my he hasn't been anywhere. I don't care. I'll hold it down. This guy said I shoved her. When I was upstairs and they showed up on my door, said I shoved him. I said, show me the video. I really got angry because that did not happen. All I did was take my dogs down.
All right. So what do you want to say?
I want a restraining order against Christian Gonzalez.
We don't issue those.
Because,
Those
no,
just
I'm
go
serious.
to court.
Can I do that?
You
Where
have to
can
go
I?
to court. You have to go to
Okay, but
downtown.
how can I make
petition.
myself first?
Who's on the phone with you?
Just my dad.
Okay. Well, let me
Which I think is
let me
reasonable.
let me explain to you something with your dad on the phone, so you could hear me. You asked me, how can I get a restraining order against him? I answer you, we don't issue those. That's through court. You asked me, I need to get one before him. I told you, the only way is for you to get to court. Then you asked me, is he on the way already? And I asked you, I didn't even know how he looks like. You understand? It's your questions that are making much of an.
I am.
Listen to me. Answer my questions, please. Does he have property in the room in the apartment with you? A lot of property, you said. He's been with you here for about 2 months, right? On and off, or is staying with you?
For 2 months every day.
Staying with you for 2 months here with you? Okay.
Except for last week, he wasn't.
Okay, let me let you know something. He lives here. That person lives in that apartment with you. Okay, we cannot trespass anybody that lives in this place. So we can by law we cannot do this.
And that's I do understand that, and that is why I said, can I get a restraining order and get there first?
Listen, my
Because
answer was I already answered that.
crazy
You
and
got
I
it.
could go.
Just go to the court.
Just stop. They're stalking me.
In this footage, it's clear that Courtney is experiencing intense panic and seems concerned about obtaining a restraining order ahead of Toby. But there's a crucial detail that you cannot miss. When the building's security witnessed the scene, they saw her forcefully pushing poor Toby out of the elevator while screaming at him. Interestingly, not a single ounce of aggression was seen from Toby. Now, with evidence mounting up, it's becoming clearer by the minute that Courtney's self-defense story may be straying away from reality. However, as is almost always the case in situations like these, everything is hearsay, making it very difficult for the detectives to officially debunk her claims. Nonetheless, they allowed her to be alone for nearly an hour and allowed her to change clothes. Upon returning to the interrogation room, they had some more news for her.
So you're living in a nightmare right now.
Yes.
You know?
I will feel so much better once they just say he's stable.
Yeah.
And I've been asking so
and
much.
That's what we're waiting for. Okay.
I mean, I feel like at the end, I mean, if he's not, that's a lot worse for me.
So they've asked for an update, and I asked them for an update as well, so they're checking to see what's going on. Because they're
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I will do with myself if he's not okay.
No matter what.
I mean, I clearly we can't be together.
No matter what happens, no matter where this falls, right? It's out of our control.
So we have to inform you that Christian did not make it. Okay. Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could, and
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God. This is not real, right? Okay. There's no way. Christian died? Can I please have a hug? Am I allowed to do that in here?
Sure. Yeah. Relax. You'll be fine.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. Take deep breaths.
I need to hug my mom. I cannot be left alone in like a room by myself.
You won't be.
After this. No, that's not true. That's not real, right?
It is real.
Christian is dead.
Yes. They're not gonna lie.
The last thing he ate was Subway. What I was saying to that other room, I said, God forbid, when like from far away, what if it had accidentally hit a little bit lower and he died?
So we can't change what's occurred and get him before. So just step by step. So you'll get through this, all right?
The detectives' reactions strongly indicate they're convinced that this is a case of self-defense. In fact, one of them was even talking earlier that he was so certain she would be released and that everything would be all right. So, it obviously wasn't hard for her lawyer to convince the authorities that she was completely innocent and she was let off without any charges. Remember though, this was before the detectives were aware of any of the evidence mentioned so far. All they knew is what Courtney had told them. As time went on, the revealed evidence strengthened the Obumseli case. These now released body cam videos unveiled the true nature of her previous arrests.
But Courtney is going away from. After seeing the earlier video of that elevator, there's no way her self-defense story holds up. She's a psycho that needs to be locked up.
There were also unflattering videos such as this one, showing her drunk in public just days after her release.
Paper. Right now, you should go. Yeah, you should go. Because you just killed your boyfriend. Yeah, you did.
Sure, people make mistakes and drink too much. But just imagine that you're caught like this in public when just a few days ago you were sobbing your heart out in an interrogation room. It's not exactly a good picture. Within just a few days, Toby's phone revealed secretly captured footage showing Courtney violently screaming at him. She also physically struck him on the face and used racial slurs.
You literally talked to her without telling me!
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said hi. You and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a You're Yes, thank you. Coming from Courtney, thank you.
I want you to get away from me!
As a result of this, and numerous other testimonies stating that Courtney was the abusive one, Toby's family proceeded to take her to court. It was during this legal process that a medical examiner, the one who had examined Toby's body, provided conclusive evidence, which was the final piece of the puzzle.
Based on the information you received that the defendant was alleged to have thrown this knife, do your observations support that?
I'm not an expert in knife throwing. If the person who supposedly did this is an expert knife thrower, and the knife is the type of knife that you can throw, I guess that could have happened.
Did you receive any information that the defendant was a knife thrower?
No.
So based on that fact that you did not receive that information, would it support that?
No.
And what would you expect to see a knife do if someone just flung it at somebody?
Threw it the way a knife thrower throws it?
No, someone that's not a knife thrower.
It would just hit the body and bounce off.
Now, as a result of this case, did you come to a cause, or did you make a determination as to the cause and manner of death?
Yes.
Could you please explain this report?
The cause of death was stab wound of right subclavian artery. The manner of death was homicide.
I have no further questions.
As of April of 2023, Courtney finds herself awaiting one of the most highly anticipated trials in recent history. She faces life in prison on the account of second-degree murder, with very compelling evidence stacked against her. It's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good at all. But time will tell if she's going to spend the rest of her life behind bars. Thank you so much for joining us on this one. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.